Hey guys, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome or thank you for tuning in to my next podcast episode. I know it's been a little minute, but it's been a little busy. Thanksgiving just passed. I went to Tennessee to spend time with my family. I had an amazing time with them. I caught up with my best friend Rick, and it was my best friend Ariel's birthday, so had celebrated her birthday, had a birthday bash. It was a great time. Enjoyed my family and my oldest daughter, and we just had a really amazing time. So the traffic was ridiculous. I thought I left pretty early, but apparently I didn't, or maybe I did. It was just a lot of traffic. It took the trip back from Tennessee just to South Carolina was literally almost 2 hours longer than it normally is. So, but I had time to think, and I was like, what am I going to do for my next podcast episode? And I was like thinking of all these ideas, and I was like, well, shoot, I got to take notes, because I have to take notes when I do a podcast, because I realize that I go off the topic easily if I'm, planning it and making sure I have the information that I want to do. When it's sporadic, it's not, I don't do that. So anyways, I was like, what do I need to do, or what can I do to for another episode? So I was like, you know what? I am going to do something that me and Ariel always used to like. We had a thing between each other where we'd be like, confession time, because I don't know how we started it, why we started it, but it was basically like us like telling each other something that we kind of kept hidden for whatever reason, and then we just suddenly decided to tell each other whatever we wanted to tell each other. So I wanted to do that this Sunday. I'm gonna try to make it a thing. Do not quote me on that, because again, I'm trying things out to see what fits and see what brings in more audience and likes and all that stuff. So I hope to keep it, but you never know. So if you like it, tell everybody about it and tell people to listen to the podcast or the episode, and share it and all that. So anyways, I decided to do a thing called it's going to be either Sunday Confessions or Confession Sundays. I'm trying to see which one sticks more, but anyways, basically it's just me. I just decided to share this confession per se, and honestly I don't know why, but this has been on my mind for a couple of weeks. And if I confessed it to my best friend Rick on Friday. He was like, he knows me very well, and he's like the least judgmental person I know. But I confessed it to him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, It wasn't a big deal to him, but for some reason, to me, I just kept it a secret. Not even my friends, my besties, none of them know what I'm about to say. So here we go. So this was between the time of 2016, 2017. I had just, excuse me. This was the time after I finally had to accept that the father of my baby girl did not want me. He did not. He wanted to move on. He told me, like, I know how you feel about me, but like, it's just not gonna work out. I want to be with this girl, okay? And I finally accepted it. So I was no longer trying to get over him, trying to just get back to myself, and it's just it was a crazy time. I was talking to this guy. I will call him Scorpio because I don't want to give his real name, and he's a Scorpio, so that's why I'm calling him Scorpio, if you all want to know. So, but he and I weren't talking consistently. So there was just times where I just had these manic episodes, I guess, because it's just anyways. So at this time, I couldn't get in touch, or me and the Scorpio were not talking at that time. So I went on POF and Plenty of Fish site. I do not recommend POF is definitely, I don't care what nobody says. Yeah, there's probably been people who have met on POF and, married and all that stuff. But basically, POF is really like a hookup site. Okay, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. Anyway, don't judge me, judge your mama. Okay, so I met this guy. We were talking. Conversation is that is my thing. Like, if a man can hold a conversation, I just love it. That is such a huge turn on to me. And yes, there were plenty of guys. Plenty of fish, plenty of guys. So funny. Anyways, there were plenty of guys who were, messaging me and all that stuff. But he stood out because, I think he was from Africa. As far as I can remember, he was from Africa. I can't think of which country in Africa, but he was from there, and we just had great conversation. He's a student. I went to UT, lived out. He told me at that time where the mall is, behind the mall or something like that. So my oldest, my parents at my parents' house, and my youngest one was visiting. She was with her big mama. So I had time, so I was like, well, I'm going to spend time with my friend. I'm not going to say her name because we're no longer friends. So, but I'm going to go to Knoxville and see my friend. I would like to come by later. We can just watch a movie. And I don't even remember Netflix being that big back then, honestly, because we didn't watch Netflix. I was just saying we can come over and just watch a movie. Is basically what I said. And he was like, oh, what time? And of course, I'm like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever. He's like, what? 11, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, whatever. And 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So I go to my friend's house and we're talking. I'm looking at the clock. And she was like, why are you looking at the clock? Girl, you got somewhere to go? I was like, oh, girl, I'm just so tired. I'm just going to go back home. I'm just so tired. But at the same time, I'm, telling him, I'll be there soon, talking to my friend. For some reason, she really wanted me there. Basically, she was just bored. Okay, that's all it was. So don't be thinking, oh, she needs somebody to talk to. She was just bored and no one else talked to her. She's crazy. And anyways, so I make some weird excuse about, having to leave early and going home. But I did not go home. So I tell him to to send me his address. He sends me an address. And those of you who know me, y'all know, me and GPS, we really just do not get along. My GPS does not GPS, okay? It's just, I don't know. So, yes, he did GPS me his address, but I still got lost. I had to end up calling him. He was like, I'll walk you through, or stay on the phone with me, and blah, blah, blah. So I got there he stayed, they're gated behind the mall. And I know they were really, really extremely nice, apartments. And, he was very polite and very respectful, and he met me outside and he came to my car, and I was like, oh, this is weird, why are you coming to my car, whatever. So going to his house, and he was literally so nice. He was like, you want anything? And mind you, ladies, his place was laid nice, very nice. But he was, a scientist or something like that, engineer, but he had computers and everywhere, and just, and books everywhere. He was, yeah. And he was like, whatever you want to watch, we can watch. And okay. Sorry. I was like, listen, I don't want to watch a fucking movie. Let's just get out this, just get over with, He was like, what? He wanted to deliver him, and I was like, no, let's just go to your bedroom. He was like, oh, okay. So, sidebar. At this point, I'm kind of annoyed. I'm just like, okay, listen, you know why I'm here. Let's not do this weird thing. You know why I'm here. Let's not pretend. Whoop-de-whoop. Stop. Okay? So I was kind of annoyed by that. I was like, oh, he ain't gonna be here no motherfucking shit. This is whatever. Okay. So he's like, so I take my clothes off. I undressed myself, and he came in the bed with just with like not, and mind you, sidebar, another sidebar. Very handsome man. He was not tall, ladies. He was not tall. Like I'm five, barely 5'7". He was okay. He was like my height. Okay, so when I say he wasn't tall, he wasn't like shorter than me, but he was my height. So to me, he was average height. Okay. Anyway, nice physique though. You could tell. I mean, he did tell me he does. You know, he does bicycling and all that stuff. So, anyways, I was like, "Why do you have your?" Okay, anyway, so he wanted. So we, I'm talking to him, make out, all that stuff. So we, sorry, excuse me. Goes back to one a little bit. He was talking about how he's sorry, it's a mess, and y'all, it wasn't a mess. He literally was like really nice and just had computers everywhere and books. I was like, "You're fine, you're fine." So one thing led to another. We're chilling, doing everything like that. So he gets I was like, well, hey, before you do anything, you have condoms, right? Yeah, okay, I know I should have asked that before all that led up to it, but so we, he's does his thing, puts the protection on. Like, I don't know. I literally do not know what happened. I do not know. And it was, and y'all probably like, oh, you hadn't had sex in a while, and that wasn't the case either. I mean, it wasn't been. It was like 2 months. It wasn't like whatever. But I wasn't fiending for sex, so it wasn't that. But when I say, again, I don't know what happened, but as soon as he entered, okay, literally it was something. Like something happened because it was on literally. I don't know I'm not sure if it was me. If it was just me that made it good, or it was just him or us together, but the chemistry was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. He was so sensual. He was so sweet and respectful, but at the same time, he was freaky and nasty and like just, oh my Lord Jesus, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks. Okay. Anyways, so ladies, mind you, this just wasn't a one-time thing. Like that night, I'm talking about, like, I don't even remember how many condoms come with a pack, but I know it was a fresh pack, like a fresh pack that he opened. I know like one of the times we did it, I said, hey, I know you're, I know you're out of condoms. He was like, not a problem. He said, let me go. I think he had a roommate as well. And I did not know that until he said, let me ask my roommate if he has them. I was like, roommate? What the fuck? And let's just say that our chemistry was so amazing that let's just say I just know I was not quiet, okay? And mind you, this apartment has like these really high voltage ceilings, and there's wood flooring, so you automatically know, like, you can just imagine the echo. I'm already like, oh my gosh, like, this is some bullshit. Like, this is crazy. Anyways, comes back, and like, seriously, like, I'm not even like exaggerating. We had great chemistry. He would, like, after between here and there, he would like show me. I just love, like, black men with him. Like, I'm just saying that his passion for what he did was really nice, and it just really was such a turn on. And again, he had great conversation. So we finally like go to sleep, sleep. Like, don't wake up and do it again. We like went to sleep, and then I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta go home. I have to, I gotta go home. And he was really nice. He walked me to my car and all this other stuff like that, because I was okay. And I was like, yeah. He said, let me know when you make it home. I never did. Why I didn't? I was thinking about it when I was driving home. I was like, I've literally had the best, nastiest, freakiest, sensual sex I've ever had in my entire life. I don't even know this guy's real name. I did not. I think he might have told me his real name, but I don't remember. I just went by his username on POF. And mind you, y'all, this was like 10 years ago. Wait, no. Sorry. This was, I think, 25 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. So he did message me and say, hey, can you get home? And I said, yes, I did. I went back to sleep because I was still sleepy. I just didn't want to be there anymore. He did call me a couple of times after. Like, I didn't have his number saved, but I do remember him calling and I didn't answer. And then that one time I answered, and he was like, hey, I've been trying to get in touch. Is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, everything's fine. Just been really busy. He was like, I'd like to see you again. And I was like, okay, just let me know. And then he messaged me and he was like, when, I'd like to take you out so we can go downtown. And I literally ignored it. I don't know, ladies. I don't know why. To this day, I don't understand why. I think I was just scared because I already knew, I know with black men specifically always talk about women giving up on the first night, like they're this and they're that, and so I was already embarrassed because I older than him and doing all this stuff. We're having all this going on, and we don't even know. I don't know him like that, and it was just like so embarrassing for me. So I literally just decided to just like act like that part of my life did not happen. And to this day, I don't know why that I decided to just hide that. I don't know. But yeah, that is my confession. That my best relation that I can think of. That when I say that, I mean like everything was just everything was just he and I clicked. We had great chemistry. The sex was amazing. He was definitely in his books. He's the type of black man that I like. I love the black men who are in their books. I like the ones who are just men, the people who know me know what I mean. I just can't describe it without people trying to get offended. So I don't want to really try to describe it, but he was my type. But I was still in that kind of area where I was trying to get over the father of my little girl. Then I was still talking to Scorpio, and then it was, and I also wanted to be alone. It was just a really weird time. But I don't know how to find him. I do not know, and I don't think I ever will. But I mean, well, you know what? One day this podcast might literally go somewhere and to where he hears this and he's just like, oh my gosh, or he sees me and he's like, I know her, let me contact her. And if not, again, he seems like a really good guy, and I'm sure he's probably married or engaged or living a very peaceful and successful life. So I do definitely I put us in the back of my head, but for some reason it came forward. Maybe I needed to let that out for a certain reason, and I don't know. But so, ladies and men, I just wanted to share that with y'all. That's been on my mind heavy for the past couple of weeks, and I actually feel a little bit better that I've confessed it. I told you I confessed it to my best friend, Rick. But men react totally different than how we want our girlfriends to react. And he was just like, oh, okay, Ashley. Anyways, so ladies, if you are men, if you decide that you want to confess something that's been on your mind heavy, you can either remain anonymous or you can write to me, hit me up on my social media links, or email me, or email me. Of course, you can do that. If you have any confessions, we can get into it. And there is a way that I can actually link somebody in with me on my podcast. And I'm pretty intelligent, so I know I'll be able to figure it out sooner than later. So we can do that. And again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another podcast episode of mine. This was very sporadic, but I'm a very sporadic person. I know that somebody probably wanted to share a confession. If you needed a sign, this is your sign right here. If you love this topic, you will please let me know and spread the word, because then maybe we can turn this into a type of thing like Sunday confessions, where people look forward to it and want to hear what people have to confess and all that stuff. And y'all don't be doing no lying. So much shit happens in real life. Like, there's no need to lie about something. Like, so if you have a confession to me, please, I ain't gonna research it or nothing like that, but please don't let it be fake, because that's not cool. It's just not. Anyways, please don't forget to subscribe to my website, blog, all about Ash84. You can choose to subscribe to it to get notified for everything, like my podcast, YouTube, and blog. Or if you're just a podcast, you can just link to my podcast only. If you're all about YouTube, you can do the YouTube. And if you do Spotify, there is a link where you can do Spotify as well. I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you for listening.